Welcome, YouTube. This is jseeb coming in for another jseeb1 coming in for another video. Today's episode is number 13. Thank you for the 200 plus views on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys very much. And thanks for the 30 people that subscribed to me also. Thanks for the 30 subscribers that subscribe to me. Well, since when my power supply is currently broken, or it's the breadboard, I still haven't figured out what it is. I'm making a educational video today. I'm planning on getting a new power supply sometime maybe. Or figure out what's wrong with these. But anyway, well, today we're going to be talking about inductors, transformers, that ain't the symbol for trans. There's a transformer. We're going to be talking about LEDs, diodes, transistors, the PNP kind, and then the NPN kind. We're going to be talking about those kind. Last video we talked about relays. If you guys remember, in the latest Wisdom Wednesday that we did relays. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, inductors, transformers, LEDs, diodes, NPN transistors, and PNP transistors. Well, let's get on with episode number 13, which happens to be another Wisdom Wednesday. An inductor circuit schematic looks like that, but sometimes they have that on the top, which differentiates if it's got a core or not. There's two types, air core and iron core. Air core is literally a piece of wire that's wrapped around something like to form a loop in the air. That's literally an air core. It's basically a coil of wire. Sometimes inductors are also known as coils. So an inductor or a coil but they they save energy as a magnetic field. That's MF. Coils are in everything. They're in motors, transformers, inductors, relays, RF signal transistors, or some of them. And then dot. They're in mostly everything. They're just basically a coil of wire that's wound around something. That's basically what it is. But every time you use an inductor, you gotta have a resistor, or a diode actually, to allow the current to go back. Otherwise you'll get a massive spike. It could be anywhere from 10 volts to 200 volts DC. Now let's talk about transformers. There wasn't much about inductors. Transformers, on the other hand, the circuit schematic is that. This is a transformer. But there's kind of step-up ones are illustrated as that versus that. That's a step up. But a 1, they're rated as 1 to either a 2 ratio, which is VN divided by half equals V out. That's for a. But if you go 1 to 3, 1/4, let's just say I go to 1/4. That would be a 1 to 4 ratio. And then I have, let's just say I have 100 volts in. That would be, and then 4, which would be 25 volts out. Following my formula, it would be the VN equals 100, and then the turns equal 4, which equals V out. That's a step down kind of. Basically, a step down is used for to step down voltage. But it brings up amperage. And that's the step down kind, but the step up illustrated is that as a circuit schematic. Basically, the input is that there's two sides to a transformer. This side would be the primary, while this side is the secondary. And basically, here's the core. Let's just say you have 110 turns on that, which would equal 110 volts. down to 50 turns, which would be 50 volts. So that would be classified, but the magnetic field moves from this end down there and introduces a current through the lines. Kind of like an inductor, but in a two-way. That's basically what's there on transformers. LEDs, on the other hand, are very different. I have an LED in here, if I can remember where I set it. LEDs are in everything. This is an LED. A yellow one. This is also an LED. They're light emitting diodes. So LED equals light emitting diodes. So basically, when current passes through the LED from the cathode to the anode, it produces light. And then usually there's another dye coloring over there. Let's just say a yellow. Like you see on this thing, that would make it a yellow LED. Or in this one, which is red, which makes it a red LED. But when there's no color over it, it's clear and white. So basically, there's two parts to an LED. That's the LED. This one would be the cathode. And then this one would be the anode. Basically, the longer leg. A good rule to thumb, a longer leg equals positive when you buy them from the store. But it could differentiation when you when you salvage them out of electronics. It could switch, but like a regular diode, it does not allow current to go through backwards. It only allows it to go through that way. Now let's talk about diodes. Diodes look like this. Basically, a diode has a stripe. A diode has a stripe on one end, and sometimes it's colored. Well, that point on to indicate which side's the anode or cathode. And I have a few LED-free diodes. There's different kinds in this bin. This one's a high voltage one for discharging capacitors. This one's a rectifying diode for high voltage, high amperage. This one's a switching diode. If I could pull a single rectifying diode out of here. Rectifying diodes. Let me just get a bigger one that we can see what I'm talking about with the stripe. See the stripe? The brown stripe consists of this is the anode and that side's the cathode. Let me just get my multimeter out. And this may be part 1, you guys. It depends on how long it takes to upload this one. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. But see, this one has a diode check. That's the one with the little arrow. Now where's my large high voltage diode? I'm using that one because you guys can see it the best on the camera. But see, let me attach positive to the opposite side of the stripe. You know what? Let me just use continuity. If you hear beeping, then you know it works. I guess this diode's broken. Let me just get a smaller one for you guys. This will be definitely a part 2 video. Let me see if you guys can see that or not. You guys can barely see it, but the striped end's on this side. Since when that one doesn't work. Let me just get some of these alligator clips down here that I could use for this. The white's negative while the black's positive set on these alligator clips. If you guys hear beeping, then you know it works. See? That means that's good. See, if you get a reading out on there, that means that's good. That means that's 4.09 volts over the diode. That means that turns it on. And this will be a 2-part video. Thanks for watching the first part. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, YouTube. jseeb1 out for episode 12, part 1. 13, part 1.